Hi everyone, this is my first time posting, and I figured I'd share one of my favorite stories from my time as a county sheriff. For context, my senior partner and I were coming to this guy's house to place an arrest. He had an outstanding warrant for violation of a restraining order. My partner and I come to his listed address. From the outside, it looked like a normal house. Whatever. I knocked in the door. After a moment, it opened. It was not opened by our guy, though, but rather by an older woman. "Hello, ma'am. Is this subject's house?" my partner asked. "No, I'm his mother. He lives here," she replied. I'll count down on the talking and get to the real content. We talk for a bit more and ask if we can see our guy. She's very cooperative and leads us to what was basically a basement lair. On the door is a poster for some anime or manga or something. We knock and then open up the door. Before even looking inside, the smell hit like a truck. Imagine curdled Mountain Dew and B.O. The room did not look much better than it smelled. Trash everywhere. A body pillow and a mattress on the ground. A small desk and computer where the guy was sitting. He heard us enter and rose to his full height. He turned around and saw my partner and I and visibly recoiled. We exchanged some words and brought him upstairs to get out of the smell and cuff him. Before doing so, we patted him down and asked if he had weapons or anything on him. He replied with, "I have a blade in my pocket." So we pat it and take it out, and I kid you not, this man had a shuriken in his pocket. We bagged it and cuffed him. The story almost ends there, except he throws up on the way to the car. Hope you guys enjoyed my story. Thanks for reading. So, in my circle of friends in uni, there's this guy. Let's call him F. So, F isn't really one of our friends. He just follows around two girls in our group. This guy is a classic neckbeard minus the fedora. He's usually staring at my friends' tits or trying to sit near them, and just all around being a creep. He's told us a few things, like how he has traditional views of dating and that he allegedly has never jerked off. After a while, he zeroes in on a specific friend, and let's call her G. So, F tells G how she's his perfect woman. Basically, she's neckbeard bait. As time went on, G was extremely uncomfortable enough to lie about having a class with us so she doesn't have F follow her. On one of these days, he asked a guy in our group if he can stay behind and tell him a secret. Of course, we want to know what it is, but he doesn't say until a month ago when he told us F told him that he jerked off for the first time thinking of G and how it felt amazing. Now, am I judging him for jerking off? No. What I am is, why the fuck do you have to tell someone specifically of what you're thinking of while doing it? He really does not understand why he makes the girls in his group uncomfortable, and some people in our group feel pity for him and do not say anything to him. The whole story is pretty long because this specimen tormented me for over 2 years. So I'm telling the first tale, and if you like, I'll write other stories too. So first of all, I live in Brazil, and here the concept of a neckbeard isn't something popular. Things happened to me almost 4 years ago when I was 14. When I was in 8th grade, was this boy in my class. Let's call him Beard Boy. That was a full neckbeard, overweight, greasy, blonde hair, thick glasses, the most cliche neckbeard-esque voice you can imagine, acne, and of course, the neckbeard. Pretty big for a 14-year-old. He was hated not only by all the students, but by the teachers too. I never really understood why at the time. I just thought that everyone was being mean because he was just a really weird kid who was probably autistic and really into sci-fi. In the last semester, he decided to sit next to me and my best friend, and we did not mind it at all. Spoiler. Big mistake. Now, I am huge neckbait. a big fan of anime, manga, sci-fi, video games, etc. I'm also 5'1". The first months were okay. We had a lot in common, and talking about things that both me and my best friend liked was pretty nice. But after the third month, things started to get strange. He'd talk about hentai with me. I do not mind when my friends talk about not safe for work stuff, but there's a fine line between commenting and being obsessed. And he compared me with his favorite tsundere waifu from a generic anime just because I'm small and tough. Weeks later, he told in the middle of class he was in love with me and asked me out, and of course I did not accept and said that I did not feel the same way, but it would be cool if we could still be friends. He said it was okay and avoided me for 2 weeks, and after that, Beard Boy said he wrote something to me and proceeded to hand me a lot of notebook pages with the most hideous calligraphy I've ever seen and asked me to read during the break. I was really creeped out, but curiosity got the better of me, and when I read the first 3 pages, I flipped my shit out. It was a freaking 30+ pages. I wish I was exaggerating. Poorly written porn fanfic of me and him. I'm not getting into details, but the whole thing looked like a script for a shitty porno movie written by a 12-year-old. It started with me entering the empty classroom. He is asking me why I was there and saying that I was horny. The rest you already know. So I went to the library and found Beard Boy, and damn, the smell. It wasn't even considered BO anymore. It was just like Satan's armpit. I think I've never realized the smell because the fans were always on. Continuing, I started to ask him in the calmest way I could if that was a fucking joke. And he told me, "You rejected me, so I had to show what you're missing and all the things we could do together, how I can give you pleasure." And he winked at me. That's when I snapped. I started speaking louder, in the library, and one teacher had to send us both out. At the time, I was too embarrassed to explain what happened. I did not want anyone to see the text. Outside, I had calmed down a bit, and he started playing the victim, saying that he was the good guy, and that women always want to be with the chads, and how he was crazy to touch my boobs. I was 14. I barely had boobs. Me, being the hothead I am, snapped and punched him in the stomach, something that's not good, girls. Don't beat a guy who's almost twice your size. That made him fall. I went home and destroyed the unholy fanfiction and never spoke to him again. At least until some vacation he apologized and begged for my forgiveness, and I accepted because I'm stupid and because I still thought he had some sort of mental problem. And the next years, everything got worse. But that's a story for another day if you want to. Sorry for the long text. I cut out a lot of details and tried to make it as short as I could.